So many years ago, Apple released an iPhone that I personally think was probably one of the best iPhones they've ever made, and this was the original iPhone SE. This device, in my opinion, is probably one of the most important iPhones ever made by Apple, and although it's not the best looking thing anymore, although it still, it doesn't hold up extremely well in this day and age, I think Apple did a tremendous job with this device, and the meaning behind this iPhone, I think they did a tremendous job and they killed it, to be honest. Now, within iOS 16, Apple actually unsupported this device, which personally I think makes total sense. I don't think Apple needed to go ahead and, improve the software longevity within this specific iPhone lifecycle, and that's including the iPhone 6s. I have an iPhone 6s right here, and with them going through and actually discontinuing both of these iPhones within iOS 16, totally understandable. I don't see the need for them to go ahead and continuing to support an iPhone 6s and the first generation iPhone SE. However, for them to go ahead and cut out the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, that's actually pretty crazy. But when you look at something like the iPhone SE first generation, the outside and the body of this iPhone, a lot of people tend to forget, but this was technically just a, 2-year-old design from a flagship. When you look at something like the iPhone SE, first of all, the screen on the front, of course, 4-inch display, but back in 2016, early 2016 when this iPhone dropped, the display really wasn't that big of an issue. The flat sides on this iPhone 2 came back with the iPhone 12s, and honestly, that home button design as well really wasn't that bad of a design. I still think it holds up pretty well, and considering Apple is still selling a phone like the iPhone SE 3 that I have here that is still supported with software that's still being sold with the home button, I think honestly this type of design holds up fairly well in this day and age. Now, flipping it over to the sides, this is where things get interesting. The flat sides came back with the iPhone 12s, and because this thing was a budget phone of 2016, it was sold for many years. When I hold this phone now, I can think to myself that this was a $399 phone that is probably $50 to $40 in this day and age. You saw the lightning port, you saw the headphone jack, the glass shards on the bottom too still give me such a awesome look. I mean, when I look at this device and I hold it in the hand, this thing, they don't really make iPhones like they used to. So joking, they still make iPhones like this since, we have flat size on all the other devices. But when I look at what Apple did with this specific generation of devices, I cannot believe how tremendous they did. I think something like the iPhone SE first generation, beyond than it just being, what it was, meaning beyond than it just being like a cheap iPhone that Apple sold, legendary status at a phone like this compared to what the iPhone SE lineup is now, I think Apple did a tremendous job. I think they killed it, and I think if they just kind of continue on with the legacy of the iPhone SE, then this phone can probably rest in peace, to be honest. But in my opinion, for this phone to be gone and for the iPhone 7s to be gone as well, that genuinely does not make too much sense to me. I feel like the iPhone 7s could have lasted much longer than they did, and for Apple to go ahead and do that, I think was very strange. But regardless, I love the iPhone SE. I'm definitely going to miss it being supported, and I still think the legacy and just the status this phone had at one time, I definitely think it still holds up. Like, if you want to buy it and use it, go for it. I probably wouldn't recommend doing it, but regardless, one of the best iPhones is now gone. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.